Hello, my name is Nancy Sorge and I'm the former reading specialist at Mark Twain School. To me, reading is so important and it changes a child's life forever. First of all, parents, I would like to say congratulations that your child is a reader. I know in September when I said your child would be fluently reading by now, some of you maybe didn't believe me, but congratulations. You've made a tremendous difference in their life by helping them every day. I'm going to give you a few tips about going into first grade and how to help you. But just so you know, I will continue doing my meetings for you next year in the end of September, January, and May, just to help you through first grade also. As I said, the most important thing you can do for your child is for you to read to them every day and for them to read to you. And the reason I say that is why you can't skip reading for one night is if you read 20 minutes a day, they will hear 1,800,000 words. But if you only read 1 minute a day, you're only reading 8,000 words. And the more words they hear, the more they're going to understand the books they read. So it is very, very, very important. And the more effort you put into your child, working with them every day, sometimes I know it's stressful, but in the end, when you see how much progress they make, it's so worth it. And have high expectations for your child. It's okay. They'll be okay with the whole process. And more importantly, don't let your child go down the summer slide. By not working with your child over the summer, they will lose 2 months of reading skills, 2.6 months of math skills. So you really need to work 2 to 3 hours minimum a week with your child. And if you don't, by the time they get to 6th grade, they're going to be 2 years behind in school. So it's really important for you every day to work with them. 20 or 30 minutes of reading and math so that they can keep up. The children also are going to be bringing home any of their workbooks that have incomplete pages. Now they might have done it online with you with the e-learning, but all the workbooks that they were issued in last September are going to come home. So that would be good practice just for them to review. Just do a couple pages a day in math book and reading book. Also, they're going to bring home their notebooks that they were using for writing journals in school. So please continue to do that, where you walk around the block and you see squirrels or you see someone playing ball, have them come home, draw a picture, and have them write what they saw. And some of the vocabulary that you have been using when you read to them, maybe they can use some of those words and just kind of sound it out. So that's kind of you're going to pick up those materials from school, and then you can finish working on the workbooks. I want to go back and explain the reading process. Now, this is my talk, and you will get a copy of this when you pick up your children's materials from school. The reading process, I started in September, and I said we began with decoding. First, we started with sight words. Sight words are words that they memorize. You cannot blend them out. T, h, ah. No, the word is the. Another one. Ah. No, it's he. So all summer you need to work with those sight words, because the more sight words they know and the quicker they know them, the faster reader they'll be and they'll have more comprehension. Then we talked about blending words. Blending words were words that you blend together. A, p, map. And you take those sounds and blend them together. I also said it's important to be able to blend it, but it's also important to know what the word means. If your child doesn't know what they mean, or if you don't know a particular word, you can go to Google Images and come up with the picture, map. So it's important they know how to blend it, but it's also important that they know what the word means. So that's kind of the two processes we were working on in kindergarten. We worked on the vowel sounds. We said A said A and A. E said E and E. I said I and it. O said O and ah. U said U and Now, so the words I just showed you, the blending words, all had short vowel sounds. So this A said A. Also, the kids started learning the long sounds. And I showed you a little trick, and I'll refresh your memory. If it has an E at the end, that E has superpower. So that E gives the power to the A. A says A, and the word is bake, bake. And then it loses its power once it gave it to the A. Bike. E gave the power to the I said I, and then it lost its power. So, two different short vowels and long vowels. In first grade, the emphasis is going to be on comprehension. For example, they're first going to look at a book. Is this book, do you think it's going to be about, you're going to predict, is this going to be about a boy riding a bike? No, I don't think so. So first you want your child to predict what is it going to be. Then during the reading, they're going to confirm their prediction. Was it about a boy with a bike? No, I think it was about a caterpillar. They're going to monitor their comprehension. So after they read a sentence, they're going to say, ooh, did that make sense to me? Stop and ask questions. Oh, I wonder why he's getting so big and fat. Do a visual picture in their head so they're seeing the story in their own head. Making connections. Oh, I remember when I was at the park, I saw a caterpillar on the ground. Oh, I wonder if that was going to turn into a butterfly. So that's making a connection into their own world. And finally, what was important? What was this whole story about? And after they read it, who, what, why, where, when. That's basically what they're going to be working on in first grade. They're going to get a lot more sight words and a lot more blending words, but they're really going to be focusing on comprehension. On your sheets, I gave you all the sight words that they did in kindergarten and all the blending words they did. So you might want to practice them kind of a lot, especially the blending words where they're not doing app. They're looking at the word in their head, they're going map, and they're doing it quickly. So that's kind of important. Sight words, my tip is go to Walmart or Walgreens or someplace, get index cards and make index cards and just have them do them very, very quickly, because that will help them when they're reading. I showed you this. I'll review this in case your child is having trouble. B and D. B, D. Show me a D. Show me a B. Sometimes children have trouble with B and D, so you can play a little game, because what you want them to be is independent, where if they have a problem when they're reading, they can figure it out. So they can take their hand out and they can go, okay, that's a B. Okay, that's a D. You want to make them independent, but you want to give them a strategy to be able to figure it out. The children will be tested in first grade in reading in September. It's usually maybe the second week of school. So by reading all summer, they will have no problem with the transition and being able to, what they do is they give them a small book and they have to read it and answer questions about the story. So they need to know what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. The goal for January is the children are reading at 23 words a minute, and by the end of first grade, they're reading 47 words a minute. The goal in second grade is by the end of the year, they're reading 90 words a minute with 90 or 95% comprehension. So it's really important that they know those sight words and those blending words, because then it all just comes together. Math. Sometimes I don't do a good job on math, but I want to do a good job on math. Recognizing numbers from 1 to 100. An easy way to do that is you're walking through any grocery stores, Shop and Save. You're pointing to a sign. What does that say? Oh, that's 29, or that's 35. Point out numbers wherever they are. Even if you're standing in line at McDonald's, how much does it cost? What number is it? A tip I have for you is to either buy addition flashcards or subtraction flashcards and memorize them. Do it over the summer so that they're really, really quick. That'll take so much stress off first grade if they already know all those flashcards. If you don't have any, you can easily make them. Get index cards, you can cut yours in half, and you can do all the way up to 12. So 2 plus 1, 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1, all the way up to 12, and work on them. Subtraction the same way. I would do addition first. If your child is having trouble with addition, my suggestion is to get fish crackers or pretzels or popcorn or anything. Set the problem up, like 2 pieces of popcorn plus 1 piece of popcorn is how many. Subtraction's more fun to do with food, because if you do it with pretzels or M&Ms, set it up where you have maybe 6 M&Ms and take away 2. Eat them. How many are left? So it's kind of a fun game, and they'll learn their flashcards. Denominations of money. When you're coming out of the store or their piggy bank, you can say, how much is this? And they're going to say 2. I have 2 coins, but it's not 2. This one's worth 10, this one's worth 5. This is a nickel, this is a dime. What if I do this? This is a penny, it's worth 1, and nickel's worth 5. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So that's another game you can play with coins. That's fun for the kids. Time for your, with a clock, what time is it? And just do to the hour and to the half hour. And just make a game out of it. Just make it very, very simple. Also, the library closest to school is called Garfield Ridge Library, which is located at 6348 South Archer. And they're going to have a summer reading program. It's a summer reading challenge. It's going to start July 6th and go to August 15th. You can register online, and you just have to read 500 minutes. But if you read 20 minutes a night, you'll be done pretty quick. Do one activity, so draw one picture of some story you've read, and one thing that you discovered. I discovered that a caterpillar goes into a cocoon, and you can draw a picture of that. And when you're finished with your 500 minutes and your discovery and your creating, you go to the library and you, on a piece of paper, write all the books you read, and they will give you a treat bag with prizes in it and books, and you can put your name in a drawing for a Kindle Fire. Also at the library, I know these are different times, but when the museum's open, you can bring your library card and give it to them, and they'll give you a pass to go to, and I've listed lots and lots of museums in Chicago, like the aquarium, planetarium, field museum, that you can get into free. Also, the resources, always go back to the Mark Twain website. They have a plethora of things on there, resources for you as parents and for children. You can continue to use the Go Math resource, and it's on the website. It'll direct you how to get onto it. McGraw-Hill is the reading series. There's lots of books and resources and phonics games that the kids can play with during the summer. I would strongly suggest the Ingenuity Pathblazer, which is the Learning Odyssey. That is an extremely important website to go into under the math, because that is the test, NWEA or MAP, and the children will be tested in September, in December, and in June. Really important, because whatever score they got in NWEA during kindergarten year, that's where they will start for next year, and it will continue testing them. If they get one right, they go ahead. If they get one wrong, then they give them one similar to it or a little easier. So going over that site with them at home and practicing using the mouse and whatever, really, really important, and their skills will really get sharpened. So that's really an important one to do. You also can go into the reading one. Though the children were not tested yet in reading in kindergarten for this particular test, they have lots of phonics games and things that you can take advantage of. Also, you know about the Raz Kids, all the books that are available online. Oh, I should say also, going back to the Garfield Ridge Library, there's also a website on my sheet here for you, thousands, all the books in Chicago Public Library you have access to. So you can download those on any device you have at home and read the books online. So I gave you the website, how to get into, and you can download any book you want. Additional websites I have here is it's called Extra Math. It's a free app you can download, and you can practice addition and subtraction, but they only give you 3 seconds or 4 seconds to do the answer, so you have to know them. Starfall.com, which you're familiar with because of being in kindergarten, Brain Pop Junior, and Khan Academy are all sites that you can take advantage of. I also gave you a list of kindergarten books that would be appropriate for your child. Bob Books, and this is what it is. In this kit, they have 12 little books, and your child can read the book. It's short vowel, simple books, but it would be good practice for them to read lots of these. Other books that they can transition into, Henry and Mudge. I would suggest trying to get this is Henry and Mudge, the first book, and it kind of tells the story how Henry came up with Mudge and how, as a puppy, he was so little, and suddenly he got very big. So anyway, this is Henry and Mudge series. There's probably about 20 or 30 books. Frog and Toad. Any book that has one in the corner, beginning to read. There's another one. This is on dolphins. This is on starfish, Flat Stanley, 1 or 2. Because ultimately, by the end of first grade, we'd like to be transitioning into Nate the Great, where, yeah, there is some pictures, but there's more words. So by doing it every day, that will help you and help your child. One other thing I added to the back of your sheet, this is the list of first grade sight words. And in first grade, they're going to say the orange words are sight words. The yellow words are blending words. So your sheet won't have all these colors on it, because when they start each story, the children will go over the words and they'll highlight them in orange and highlight them in yellow. But you can start practicing the sight words and blending words right now. Also, because I talked about reading and how important it is for you not to skip reading with your child at night, because that vocabulary that they hear is so important. I gave you a list of some books that might be good. One is Charlotte's Web, excellent book to read. Beverly Cleary. You can even read Junie B. Jones. So I gave you a list. All these are good books for the kids. I gave you a list on the back of your sheet of read-alouds. Another one that just came out, maybe about a year ago, is Harry Potter, the series Harry Potter books. They have the Harry Potter picture books, and those are excellent books, and the vocabulary is very high level, so it would be really, really good for your children. So I'm anxious to see you in September. We're hoping school starts September 8th. I hope that you work with your children all summer. I can't even tell you how important it is. Your children are so precious to Mark Twain School. We want them to do wonderful. Please, please work with them at home so that they have a wonderful experience in school. Thank you.